Hello everyone, today we are going to analyze this beam using stiffness matrix method. Before analyzing, let us see the beam on time. In this beam, we are having two spans AB and BC. Also we are having a overhanging span CD. In the span AB, we are having a point load 100 kN acting at 4 meter from the point A. In the span BC, we are having UDL 20 kN per meter acting for the full span. In the overhanging span CD, we are having a point load 20 kN acting at 1.5 meter from the point C. In the point A, we are having a fixed support. In the point B and in the point C, we are having hinged support. In this beam, totally we have to find 5 moments. In the point A, we are having a fixed support. So we will have a moment MAB. In the joint B, we are having two moments MBA and MBC. Also in the joint C, we are having two moments MCB and MCD. In the joint C, we can easily calculate both of the moments. The moment MCB is acting in the clockwise direction. The moment MCD is acting in the anti-clockwise direction. The point load 20 kN into the distance, we will get MCD. 20 into 1.5, we will get 30. Since MCD is acting in the anti-clockwise direction, it will be negative. In the joints, both of the moments will be in the same magnitude but in the different direction. MCD and MCB will be having the same values, but MCD will be negative, MCB will be positive because MCB is acting in the clockwise direction. In this way, we can easily calculate MCD and MCB. Now let us calculate fixed end moments. For the span AB and for the span BC, we have to calculate the fixed end moments. For the overhanging span, we don't have to calculate the fixed end moments. First, let us calculate in the span AB. In the span AB, we are having two fixed end moments, M of AB and M of BA. M of AB will be negative because it is acting in the anti-clockwise direction, and M of BA will be positive because it is acting in the clockwise direction. In this span, we are having a point load. This point load is not acting on the center. If the point load is not acting on the center, we have to split the span into two parts, A and B. Here A is 4 meter and B is 2 meter. The fixed end moment formulas are minus WAB square by L square and positive WA square B by L square. We can apply the values inside the formula. W is 100 kN, A is 4 meter, B is 2 meter and the length is 6 meter. We can apply. Finally, we are getting M of AB is equal to minus 44.44 kN meter and M of BA is equal to 88.89 kN meter. Now let us calculate the fixed end moment in the span BC. In the span BC, we are having UDL acting for the full span. If the UDL is acting for the full span, the fixed end moment formulas are minus WL square by 12 and positive WL square by 12. Let us apply the values inside the formula. W is 20, L is 5 meter. After the calculations, we are getting M of BC is equal to minus 41.67 kN meter and M of CB is equal to 41.67 kN meter. In the stiffness matrix method, we have to check the number of supports in which slope can occur. Let us see the conditions. In the fixed support, there will be no slope. In the hinged support, there will be slope. In the roller support also, there will be slope. In this beam, we are having two hinged supports. In the point B and in the point C, we are having hinged supports. So, the number of supports where slope occurs is 2. In the point B, we are having theta B and in the point C, we are having theta C. So, in this problem, we are having two unknowns. If we calculate these two unknowns, we can find the final moments very easily. Now let us make the fully restrained structure. In the fully restrained structure, there will be no slope. We know that in the fixed supports only, there will be no slope. So let us remove the hinged supports from the point B and the point C and replace them with the fixed supports. In the fully restrained structure, we don't have to consider the overhanging span. So the fully restrained structure ends in the point C. and it is not continuing after the point C. Right now in this beam there is no slope because all the supports are fixed. That is why it is called the fully restrained structure. We have made the fully restrained structure. Now let us make the coordinate diagram. In this problem the coordinates are 2. They are B and C because in the points B and C we are having slope. The coordinates must be made in the clockwise direction. You can see that both of the coordinates are in the clockwise direction. Now let us see the formula to find the slope. System displacement delta matrix is equal to K matrix inverse into P matrix minus PL matrix, where PL matrix is equal to moments developed in the coordinates due to the given load. P matrix is equal to final forces acting in the coordinate direction. K matrix is equal to stiffness matrix. In this formula, first let us calculate the PL matrix. We know that the PL matrix is equal to moments developed in the coordinates due to the given load. We are having the coordinates in the points B and in the point C. We have already calculated the fixed end moments. In the point B, we have calculated two fixed end moments, M of BA and M of BC. We have to add both of them. After adding, we are getting 47.22. In the point C, there is only one fixed end moment, that is M of CB, which is equal to 41.67. Finally, we have made the PL matrix. In this formula, let us calculate the P matrix. We know that the P matrix is the final forces acting in the coordinate direction. In this beam, we are having a overhanging span. In the overhanging span, we are having a point load 20 kN. By using the point load and the distance, we have calculated MCD. Then we calculated MCB. So in the point C, we have already calculated the final moments. So in the P matrix, we have to enter the final forces, but it must be in the order. First from the first coordinate, which is the point B, then the second coordinate, which is the point C. Because of the point load and the overhanging span, there is no moment developed in the point B, so we have to apply 0. Now let us see the second coordinate. Here it will give us some confusion. Because of the overhanging span, we have calculated two moments already, but which one we have to choose? The moment MCD is acting on the overhanging span, but we are not considering the overhanging span. We have already seen that MCB is acting on the span CB, so we have to select MCB. MCB is equal to 30 kN meter. We can apply that here. In this formula, we have calculated the P matrix and the PL matrix. Only one is remaining to be calculated, that is the stiffness matrix. Let us see the size of the stiffness matrix. For 3 coordinates, it will be 3 by 3. For 2 coordinates, it will be 2 by 2. For 1 coordinate, it will be 1 by 1. In this problem, we are having 2 coordinates. We have already seen for 2 coordinates, the size of the matrix will be 2 by 2. It will have 2 rows and 2 columns. Now let us see how to calculate the stiffness values. For calculating the stiffness values, we have to apply the unit displacement, that is theta is equal to 1 radian in every coordinate. In this problem, we are having 2 coordinates. In the point B and in the point C, we are having the coordinates. So we have to apply the unit displacement in these coordinates one by one. Then we have to apply the formulas. If the parent is fixed, the formula is 4EA by L. If the parent is hinged, the formula is 2EA by L. Now let us make the first row in the stiffness matrix. For that, we have to apply the unit displacement in the first coordinate, that is the point B. In the point B, we are having a fixed support, but when we apply the unit displacement, it is no longer a fixed support, it becomes a hinged support, because in the fixed support there will be no slope. Now let us see how to draw the slope curve. we are applying the unit displacement in the point B. The point B is a joint. It is connecting two spans. So from the point B, we have to make two clockwise curves. The first clockwise curve towards the point A and the second clockwise curve towards the point C. After drawing the clockwise curves, we have to see the direction of the arrow. This arrow is pointing upwards, so the slope curve will be coming above the line. This arrow is pointing downwards, so the slope curve will be coming below the line. We should give some gap between the slope curve and the fixed supports, because in the fixed supports there will be no slope. Now let us calculate the stiffness values. The stiffness values must be calculated in the order, first from the first coordinate, then from the second coordinate. Let us calculate K11. For that, from the point B, we have to look on both the sides. First, let us look on the left side. On the left side, we are having a fixed support. If the parent is fixed, the formula is 4A by L. The length of AB is equal to 6 meter. We can apply. Now, let us look from the point B on the right side. On the right side also, we are having a fixed support. If the parent is fixed, the formula is 4A by L. The length of BC is equal to 5 meter. We can apply that. For K11, we are having two values. We can add both of them. After adding, we are getting 1.4666 EI. Now let us calculate K12. For that, from the point C, we have to look on both the sides. On the right side, there is nothing. On the left side, we are having a hinged support. If the parent is hinged, the formula is 2EA by L. The length of BC is equal to 5 meter. We can apply. Finally, we are getting 0.4 EI. Now let us calculate the second row in the stiffness matrix. For that, we have to apply the unit displacement in the second coordinate, that is the point C. In the point C, we are having a fixed support, but when we apply the unit displacement, it is no longer a fixed support, it becomes a hinged support. Now let us see how to draw the slope curve. We are applying the unit displacement in the point C. So from the point C, we have to make a clockwise curve towards the point B. After that, we have to see the direction of the arrow. This arrow is indicating upwards. So the slope curve will be coming above the line. Now let us calculate the stiffness values. The stiffness values must be calculated in the order. First, let us calculate K21. For that, from the point B, we have to look on both the sides. On the left side, there is no slope curve, so there will be no stiffness value. Now let us look on the right side. On the right side, we are having a hinged support. If the parent is hinged, the formula is 2EA by L. The length of BC is equal to 5 meter. We can apply. Finally, we are getting 0.4 EI. Now let us calculate K22. For that, from the point C, we have to look on both the sides. On the right side, there is nothing. On the left side, we are having a fixed support. If the parent is fixed, the formula is 4EA by L. The length of BC is equal to 5 meter. We can apply. Finally, we are getting 0.8 EI. In the stiffness matrix, we have calculated both the rows. We can apply all of the values. In the system displacement formula, we have calculated the stiffness matrix, P matrix and the PL matrix. We can apply all of the values. We can take EI outside. We know that EI inverse is equal to 1 by EI. For this matrix, we have to make the inverse. We can apply all the values in the calculator and get the inverse. If you do not know how to make the inverse of 2 by 2 matrix, see the description below. There is a link. You can see the link and watch the video for getting ideas how to make the inverse of 2 by 2 matrix. I have used the calculator and got the inverse. We can add both of these matrices. 0 minus 47.22, we will get to minus 47.22. 30 minus 41.67, we get minus 11.67. Then we can multiply these two matrices. We have to multiply the rows with the columns. First this row with the column, then this row with the column. You can see the multiplication here. Finally, we are getting the answers. We know that in this problem, system displacements are the slopes, which we got finally. The slope values will be according to the coordinates. The first coordinate was the point B, so first we will get theta B. The second coordinate was the point C, so here we are getting theta C. So in this problem, we have calculated the unknowns. Now we can apply these values in the slope deflection equations and get the final moments. In the span AB, we are having two slope deflection equations. We have already calculated the fixed end moments in the beginning. We can apply the values. In the point A, we are having a fixed support. In the fixed support, there will be no slope. So we can cut theta A and make it as 0 in both the equations. After applying the value of theta B in both the equations, we are getting the final moments MAB and MBA. Now let us make the slope deflection equations in the span BC. In the span BC, only make the slope deflection equation for MBC. No need to make for MCB because we have already calculated MCB, which is equal to 30 kN meter. After applying the value of theta B and theta C in this equation, we are getting MBC. So in this beam, we have calculated all the moments. The same beam has been analyzed in slope deflection method. You can see the description below and click the link for the shear force and bending moment diagrams and calculations. Now we are going to end this session. Thank you for watching this video.